Students, welcome to the Indian Constitution virtual class. So, in the previous class, we discussed about the appointment and the other details of the Prime Minister. So, today let us continue with the list of Prime Ministers of India. Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister of independent India. So, after his tenure, Gulzarilal Nanda became the temporary Prime Minister of India for a limited term, and after that, Lal Bahadur Shastri became the Prime Minister of India. So, after his death, once again Gulzarilal Nanda became the temporary acting Prime Minister of India. So, after that, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the daughter of Jawaharlal Nehru, became the first woman Prime Minister of India. So in 1977, first time the non-Congress party came to power. So the Janata Party. So then Morarji Desai became the Prime Minister of India. And Charan Singh also was Prime Minister of India for a limited period. So after that, the Congress Party uh, under the leadership of Rajiv Gandhi came to power. He became the prime minister. Then after the term of Rajiv Gandhi, first time, second time, the non-Congress party came to power, so which was called as NDA, Non-Democratic Alliance, led by Janata Dal. VP Singh became the prime minister, and Chandrasekhar was also became the prime minister. So after that, once again, a man from Andhra Pradesh, P.V. Narasimha Rao, as a prime minister candidate in Congress party, he became the prime minister and completed his 5 years term. So and from Karnataka, H.D. Devegowda got a chance to become the Prime Minister of India, and I.K. Gujral also became the Prime Minister. Then Vajpayee, Atal Bihari Vajpayee became Prime Minister of India and completed a full term of 5 years. Then again, Congress under the Congress party, uh, Dr. Manmohan Singh became the Prime Minister of India for 2 terms. And after that, in 2014, in the Lok Sabha elections, BJP party became a majority party. Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister of India. So now also we have Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister of India, which is his second term. So these are the personalities who became the Prime Ministers of India. So this is the list of the Prime Ministers and their term, from which date to which date they uh, enjoyed the term as the Prime Ministers of India. So next let us move to the powers and functions of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister performs his powers and functions as the head of the government, the keystone of cabinet arc, the maker and leader of the Council of Ministers, the chief advisor to the President, the leader of the majority party in the Parliament, the leader of the nation and the real source of all key appointments and patronage. The Prime Minister exercises a very large amount of powers in the Indian political system. The most important powers and functions of the Prime Ministers are formulation of the government. So this is the most important function of the Prime Minister, who formulates the union government. So he is the one who takes the final decision about the selection of the ministry. Though the President appoints them, It is the Prime Minister who selects them according to his own likings and dislikings. The size of the ministry and the ministers who are to be included in it is left to the discretion of the Prime Minister. If the Prime Minister so wishes, he can select the members of the parliament who belong to other political parties as the ministers. But in most of the times, the Prime Minister gives minister posts to his own party men. Uh, but a great deal of coordination and harmony is required in the cabinet to run the government smoothly, which restrains him from including the members of the other political parties. Then, second function of the Prime Minister is he exercises control over the ministers. So, after selecting his ministers, the Prime Minister allocates different portfolios to them. Usually, ministers are bound to accept the portfolios allocated to them. In order to increase the efficiency of the ministry, the Prime Minister is given powers to reallocate the portfolios or even include the new ministers and drop those who are in power. So all these powers are with the Prime Minister. Anytime he can drop any minister. The ministers resign from their post at the suggestions made by the Prime Minister. If the Prime Minister asks any minister to give resignation, he must give resignation. Third function of the Prime Minister is leader of the cabinet and chairman of the cabinet. The Prime Minister is the leader of the cabinet. He has powers to form the ministry, call its meetings, to adjourn them if necessary, and preside over them. So these are very important responsibilities of the Prime Minister. The cabinet meetings presided over by the Prime Minister take crucial decisions about the policies and programs of the government. The decisive vote is cast by the Prime Minister. So usually these meetings try to take unanimous decisions. Fourth function of the Prime Minister is leader of the Lok Sabha. The Prime Minister is the leader of the Lok Sabha. So in order to reduce the burden of his work, he may leave this responsibility or leadership in favor of one of his colleagues. The Prime Minister is the most important spokesman who represents the government in the parliament and explains the important policies and programs of the government. He also participates in the decisions held on the crucial issues and makes statements about them. Fifth function of the Prime Minister, removal of ministers. The Prime Minister can demand the resignation from any minister at any time. He also can advise the President to dismiss a minister. He can force a minister to quit his cabinet. So no one can remain as a minister without the consent of the Prime Minister. His consent is very essential for every minister to continue in power. Sixth function of the Prime Minister is he is the man who maintains coordination between different departments of the union government. The Prime Minister is the organizer of the different activities of the government. It is his responsibility to ensure that different departments functions in accordance with the policies of the government. He is the one who brings about coordination and harmony among different departments. So it means that if anything happens in between the various departments of the union government, so it is the responsibility of the Prime Minister to solve the problems, to give solutions to the differences which are arised in between the departments of the union government. Then seventh function of the Prime Minister is he has power to dissolve the Lok Sabha. So before the completion of the term of the Lok Sabha, the Prime Minister can recommend its dissolution to the President. Therefore, the membership of the members of the Lok Sabha is at the mercy of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister may take these extreme steps when the conflicts arise in the ministry, or when the harmony disappears between the Parliament and the Cabinet, or when an important bill fails to get the approval of the Parliament. So, under these circumstances, the Prime Minister advises the President to dissolve the House and hold fresh elections. Then, eighth function of the Prime Minister is he is the connecting bridge. The Prime Minister functions as a connecting bridge between the President and the Ministry. He holds important meetings with the President relating to serious problems faced by the nation. He also keeps the President informed about the decisions taken by the Cabinet, and in turn intimates his colleagues of the President's opinions. Thus, the Prime Minister is the sole connecting bridge between the President and the Ministry. Ninth function of the Prime Minister is powers of appointment. The Prime Minister has powers to appoint the proper persons to important positions. Appointments of the ambassadors to the foreign nations, judges, higher officials of the government, and heads of the defense forces are made by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. So, indirectly, the Prime Minister has his role in these appointments. Then, 10th function of the Prime Minister is representative of the nation. With the objective of improving the nation's relations with other foreign countries, he attends the crucial and important international conferences. Then 11th function of the Prime Minister is role in economic planning. Prime Minister is the main spirit behind all the economic plannings. He plays a leading role in all fiscal and developmental planning. It was the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru who introduced 5-year plans and initiated the building of the major multi-purpose projects. Prime Minister is the ex officio chairman of the Niti Aayog. So these are the important responsibilities or powers and functions of the Prime Minister. So now let us move to the Union Council of Ministers. So Article 74 of the Constitution of India provides for a Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister to aid and advise the President in the exercise of his functions. It is the policy making body of the country and the government in the real sense. It also provides for a parliamentary system of government and therefore divides the executive into two parts, the nominal or constitutional executive and the real executive. So, the President of India is the nominal executive head of the state and the Council of Ministers is the real executive which works under the leadership of the Prime Minister. Organization of the Union Council of Ministers. So these are the constitutional provisions. Under Article 75, the Constitution of India lays down the 6 rules regarding the organization of the Union Council of Ministers. The Prime Minister shall be appointed by the President, and other ministers shall be appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. The ministers shall hold office during the pleasure of the President. The Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the head of the House of the People. So, I mean to the Lok Sabha. Before a minister enters his office, the President shall administer to him the oath of office and secrecy. A minister who, for a period of 6 months, is not a member of either House of Parliament shall, at the expiry of that period, cease to be a minister. Sixth, the salaries and allowances of ministers shall be determined by law. So, this Article 75 gives the outlines for the organization of the Union Council of Ministers. So, this is the Cabinet Secretariat of the Parliament of India, where the cabinet meetings will be held and crucial decisions taken by the cabinet headed by the Prime Minister. Then appointment of the Council of Ministers. The Prime Minister is appointed by the President on the basis of his being the leader of the majority party in the Lok Sabha, and other ministers are appointed by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. The portfolios are given by the Prime Minister. Any person from outside the legislature can also be appointed as a minister, but he cannot continue in that capacity for more than 6 months unless he secures a seat in either House of Parliament by election or nomination, as the case may be. Size and composition of the Council of Ministers. The decision with regard to the size and composition of Council of Ministers rests with the Prime Minister. Usually, ministry has between 50 to 80 ministers. The cabinet size must be between 50 to 80 ministers. Now it has been laid down that the size of the Union Council of Ministers cannot be more than 15% of the total strength of the Lok Sabha. So 91st Amendment, January 1st, 2004, restricted the size of the Council of Ministers to 15% of the legislative members and to strengthen the anti-defection laws. So the ministers are divided into 3 categories: cabinet ministers, ministers of state, deputy ministers, and parliamentary secretaries. Cabinet ministers. Cabinet ministers are the top level leaders of the party in power and happen to be close to the Prime Minister, who are very close to Prime Minister, may be given the cabinet grade ministership. Their number is between 15 to 20. So they constitute the cabinet as the powerful policy making and decision making part of the Council of Ministers. So these are the cabinet ministers of the Narendra Modi's cabinet at present. Rajnath Singh, Nitin Gadkari, Nirmala Sitharaman, the finance minister, Ravi Shankar Prasad, then Thawar Chand Gehlot, Ramesh Pokhriyal, Smriti Irani, Prakash Javadekar, Dharmendra Pradhan, Prahlad Joshi from Karnataka, Arvind Sawant, then Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, Amit Shah, D.V. Sadananda Gowda from Karnataka, Ram Vilas Paswan, Harshimrat Kaur Badal, Subramanian Jaishankar, Arjun Munda, Harshvardhan, Piyush Goyal, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, Mahendra Nath Pandey, Giriraj Singh, Narendra Singh Tomar. So these are the present cabinet ministers in the Narendra Modi's cabinet. Cabinet ministers and their portfolios. So now Narendra Modi, who is the Prime Minister and also in charge of many departments. So the departments with Narendra Modi are Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Space, and all important policy issues and all other portfolios not allocated to any minister. So these are the departments which Narendra Modi has. Then cabinet ministers, Rajnath Singh handling the defense, then Amit Shah, Minister of Home Affairs, then Nitin Gadkari, Minister of Road Transport and Highways, and Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, D.V. Sadananda Gowda, Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers, Nirmala Sitharaman, Minister of Finance and Minister of Corporate Affairs, Ram Vilas Paswan, Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Then Narendra Singh Tomar, Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, and Minister of Rural Development and Minister of Panchayat Raj. So these departments are with Narendra Singh Tomar. Then Ravi Shankar Prasad, Minister of Law and Justice, Minister of Communications, Minister of Electronics and Information Technology. Then Harsimrat Kaur Badal, Minister of Food and Processing Industries. Then Thawar Chand Gehlot, Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment. Then Subramanian Jaishankar, Minister of External Affairs. Then Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, Minister of Human Resource Development, HRD Minister. Then Arjun Munda, Minister of Tribal Affairs. Then Smriti Irani, Minister of Women and Child Development and Minister of Textiles. Harshvardhan, Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Minister of Science and Technology and Minister of Earth Sciences. Then Prakash Javadekar, Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change and Minister of Information and Broadcasting. Piyush Goyal, Minister of Railways and Minister of Commerce and Industry. Dharmendra Pradhan, Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Minister of Steel. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, Minister of Minority Affairs. Then Prahlad Joshi, Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, Minister of Coal and Minister of Mines. Then Mahendra Nath Pandey, Minister of Entrepreneurship. Then Arvind Ganapat Sawant, Minister of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprise. Giriraj Singh, Minister of Animal Husbandry, Dairy and Fisheries. Then Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, Minister of Jal Shakti. So this is the cabinet of the Narendra Modi. So these are the cabinet ministers. Then ministers of state. The ministers of state constitute the second category of ministers. So they are not the members of the cabinet. A minister of state either holds an independent charge of a small department or is attached to a cabinet minister. While the departments like home, external affairs, defense, finance, agriculture have two or three ministers of state. The departments like civil aviation, information and broadcasting, labor welfare, surface transport and textiles are headed by a minister of state each. Such ministers attend the meetings of the cabinet only. So when they are specially invited to do so by the prime minister or by the cabinet. So these are the ministers of state in the present union cabinet. Santosh Kumar Gangwar, Minister of State, independent charge of the Ministry of Labor and Employment. Then Rao Indrajit Singh, Minister of State, independent charge, and Minister of State, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, and Minister of State, independent charge. Minister of State, independent charge of planning. Then Shripad Yesso Naik, Minister of State of the Ministry of Ayurveda, Yoga and Neuropathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy, and a Minister of State in Ministry of Defense. Jitendra Singh, Minister of State of the Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region, Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office, Minister of State in the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievance and Pensions, Minister of State in the Department of Atomic Energy. Then Kiran Rijiju, Minister of State of Youth Affairs and Sports, and Minister of State in the Ministry of Minority Affairs. Prahalad Singh Patel, Minister of State of Culture and Minister of State of the Ministry of Tourism. Then Rajkumar Singh, Minister of State of the Ministry of Power, Minister of State of the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Minister of State in the Ministry of Skill Development. Then Hardeep Singh Puri, Minister of State, independent charge of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Minister of State of the Ministry of Civil Aviation, and Minister of State in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Mansukh uh, Mandaviya, Minister of State of the Ministry of Shipping, and Minister of State in the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. So these are the ministers of state who are having independent charge. Deputy ministers. The deputy ministers are helping ministers attached to the cabinet ministers or the ministers of state. No deputy minister holds an independent charge of any department. His function is to help the minister under whom he works. They are mainly given the responsibility to prepare answers to the parliamentary questions pertaining to their respective departments and to help the process of getting the government bills passed by the parliament. Then lastly, parliamentary secretaries. The parliamentary secretaries are neither minister nor are assigned any administrative work. Their sole function is to help the ministers in the parliament. They do not draw salaries. Their office is an office used for training future ministers. So this is the group photo of the Narendra Modi's cabinet for his second term. So this is the group photo of Council of Ministers of 2019. So let us stop. So I will conclude here. Let us continue the next class with the term of office and other details of the Union Council of Ministers.